What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Weekly GCap. Unfortunately, I sound a bit better than last week, but unfortunately I do still sound just a touch nasally, so if something sounds a bit off, that's what it is. Thankfully, I am feeling a bit better. Still a little under the weather, but, the malady has been hitting hard. Anyway, we have a lot to go over. We're going to be recapping the entirety of the Game Awards, all the announcements, as well as all the winners. We've also got some other really surprising stories to go over, so as always, if there's only a few stories that you're interested in hearing, feel free to use the chapters down in the description, or just kind of scroll through there on the time bar. They should show up there, but let's get into it. First things first, let's go ahead and go over all the major game releases from the last week according to Metacritic as always, and this was a bit of a quiet week. So, December 19th, Alien Rogue Incursion. December 17th, Squid Game Unleashed, which is a mobile exclusive and is a Netflix exclusive. And then December 16th, we had On Your Tail. Yeah. Pretty quiet week. Next up, normally I let you guys know what the free Epic game for the week is, but this time it's a bit different. So basically, Epic Games is going to be giving away a free game every single day from now at the time of me recording this video and of you watching the video. Right now at the time of recording, Vampire Survivors is free, but by the time that you guys are seeing this video, it'll probably be a different game. So just keep your eyes posted on it. They'll be posting a new free game every single day at 11 a.m. EST until January 2nd, we're assuming, if it's anything like previous years. So 2 weeks of free games. Keep your eyes on it. Next up, the Lost Soul Aside release window was announced finally. So this coming from Gamatsu, quote, action RPG Lost Soul Aside will launch for PS5 and PC via Steam in 2025 worldwide. Publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment and developer Ulti Zero Games announced. PlayStation Store wish listing is also available. End quote. So you can go ahead and wish list it and then be notified when the release date is actually announced for real, but all we have at the moment is the window, so at least we know it's coming next year, which... yeah, we kind of figured that. Next up, the FANTASIAN Neo Dimension demo is available now. So, this coming from Gamatsu, quote, publisher Square Enix and developer Mistwalker have released a free demo for turn-based RPG FANTASIAN Neo Dimension across for PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC via Steam, the company's announced. However, a demo for the PS4 version is not available. So, that's interesting, but the demo allows players to experience the first few hours of the game, including the multi-dimensional battle mechanics, while beginning to solve the strange mystery of the world of protagonist Leo's lost memories. Save data from the demo can be carried over to the full game. FANTASIAN Neo Dimension launched for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam on December 5th. So this is a few weeks after the game has already come out, but if you were kind of on the fence, like, do I really want to spend the full price for this game? Here's the demo, you can try it out, and you can transfer all your save data over to the full game, which is always appreciated. Next up, a network test for Elden Ring Nightrein was announced. So if you're unfamiliar with what Elden Ring Nightrein is, it's not necessarily a sequel to Elden Ring, it's more or less a spin-off in the Elden Ring engine, which brings back some classic Souls bosses as well as some new ones in this roguelike type of mode where you choose from one of, I believe it's 8 different classes and, setups and loadouts you can go with and builds, and then you make your way through these boss fights and, do the From Software Souls thing. But anyway, this is coming from Bandai Namco's website, quote, network test will be coming in February, registration will start from January 10th. So January 10th, make sure you register, and then check back in February when it goes live. Anyway, the network test is a preliminary verification test in which the selected testers play a portion of the game prior to the full game launch. Various technical verifications of online systems will be examined by conducting large-scale network load tests, and at the bottom there's only a PS5 and Xbox Series S and X logo. There's no PC logo, so this may only be for consoles, and I can only assume it's due to the fact that they want to avoid leaks and data mines and such, but yeah, this is pretty cool because obviously this game does heavily rely on the co-op aspect of things, and I'm sorry, but as much as I love Elden Ring, I didn't even do the PvP in that game because I'm sorry, but PvP in that game sucks. It sucks in all the Souls games just because of the connection. Granted, you can get over it, but it's kind of hard when the connection is as terrible as it is, so hopefully they have it ironed out for Nightrein. Again, I love the Souls games. Some of my favorite games of all time. It's just... we can't deny that connection. Next up, the Helldivers 2 Killzone crossover is available now. This is coming from Games Radar Plus, where they go over everything that comes with it. So we'll just kind of read through this here. Quote, a Helldivers 2 Killzone crossover has dropped in the in-game superstore, letting you buy a new armor set, gun, and cosmetics with super credits. These items are all themed around the villainous Helghast faction seen in the various Killzone games, including their highly recognizable helmets and weaponry. This is also only one part of the crossover, so there will be more items to come. The Helldivers Helldivers 2 Killzone collab includes 6 unique items, including an armor set, a gun, and a few cosmetics, but be aware that these are only available until December 23rd. On this date, the Superstore stock will rotate like usual in Helldivers 2, introducing part 2 of this special collab. That means there will be more Killzone themed items, but here are the Killzone crossover part 1 items you can get now with your hard-earned Helldivers 2 super credits. So first up, we have the STA-52 AR for 615 super credits, and then we have the AC-1 Dutiful Helmet for 310 super credits. We also have the AC-1 Dutiful Armor for 500 super credits, as well as the Strengthen Our Arms Cape for 310 super credits, and then our Strengthen Our Arms player card for 90 credits, and finally the Assault Infantry title for 150 super credits. So if we do some quick Asian math here, I am half Asian, so should have this in the bag. Let's see, that's 925 plus 500, which would be 1425, plus 310 would be 1735, plus 90 would be 1825, plus 150 would be 1975 super credits in total, so I hope you've been saving. Nonetheless, it goes without saying that I'm very happy to see them doing a crossover between Helldivers and Killzone. I mean, it honestly does work pretty well, even though Helldivers is obviously a third-person game, whereas Killzone was first-person, but man, I love when Sony acknowledges their older IPs, because it gives me hope. You know what I mean? Maybe one day we can have our Killzone back. We can only hope. Seriously, please, Sony, I'm begging you, please, a new Killzone. I'd do anything. Next up, more Tales of game remasters were confirmed. So this coming from Gamatsu, quote, the Tales of series quote-unquote remaster project will continue after the release of Tales of Graces F Remastered, with a consistent line of remastered works, according to series producer Yusuke Tomizawa. There we go. It's been a while since I practiced my Japanese, so that should have been close. Anyway, speaking today during the Tales of Series 30th Anniversary Project special broadcast, Tomizawa said that while he could not reveal specific release plans, since Tales of Graces F Remastered is still to be released, Bandai Namco intends to provide remastered Tales of titles fairly consistently, and intends to continue doing so as much as possible. He also said that a dedicated dev line for the remastered projects has been established, and the team is seriously working on it. Tales of Graces F Remastered, for those that don't know, is due out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC via Steam on January 17th, 2025. End quote. So, you know, that is right around the corner, but that is really exciting. The Tales of series. Don't get me wrong, it's gotten some more recognition in recent years, especially with games like Tales of Arise, which I feel like was probably one of the bigger ones in the series overall, if not the biggest. Now that not only is there a bigger fan base established for these games, but also now that it's just, you know, been a while since, you know, some of the earlier entries were released, even some of the ones on the PS3, I mean, it's been over a decade since some of those were released, which is just crazy to say out loud. Doesn't feel like it's been that long, but like seriously, it's been like a decade and a half for some of those games. I'm all for them bringing those back and, you know, making it accessible to whether it be newer fans or just, you know, the newer generation in general, or just a whole new audience that, you know, maybe either didn't know those games existed, or again, just got into the franchise recently, or just ends up stumbling upon them in one way or another. It's always awesome, and this news made me really happy to hear, so figured I'd share it with you guys. Next up, we have, this is kind of like a 2-in-1 story. So Hideki Kamiya's new studio Clover is working on an Okami sequel. So again, that's like a 2-in-1 banger there. The Okami sequel, first of all, that's obviously a huge deal, but then also knowing that Hideki Kamiya is heading a new studio, that's also a massive deal. For those that don't know, he was at Platinum Games before, but then some things went down, which we'll be going over here. So let's just go ahead and go through this. This coming from IGN, quote, in a surprise turn, a follow-up to 2006 PS2 game Okami was announced at the Game Awards 2024. A year after his split from Platinum Games, series creator Hideki Kamiya now heads the newly founded studio Clovers and is working on Okami 2 as its director. IGN then interviewed him, in which Kamiya said the following, quote, I left my former company, Platinum Games, on October 12th, 2023. There were all kinds of restrictions placed on me for the following year, which meant that I couldn't create games. Now that the year has passed, I have finally been appointed as the studio head of Clovers. I'll be developing games at this new company with Koyama as president and CEO, end quote. So after that, they did go on with the whole interview, just kind of talking about what led to this point with Kamiya and, you know, creating this the dev team and such, but I just at least wanted to cover like the headlining thing there. The fact that not only do we know where Hideki Kamiya ended up finally, you know, heading his own studio, which is really exciting because, I mean, the man's a freaking genius if you just do even a minute of research into the games that he's worked on, but also knowing that we're getting a sequel to Okami, which is just such an underrated game. I have sat here and gushed about Okami time and time again on this show, talking about how much I wish more people would play, because even though it's gotten a bit of a cult following over the years, whether we're talking about the original Okami, or even like the DS game, for example, I still feel like there's obviously much more room for people to find the game, fall in love with it, and for an even bigger fan base to be established. But, you know, with this game, getting a sequel, and with that being announced at the Game Awards, which the Game Awards this year is, like, literally setting records in terms of just sheer viewer count, like, more and more people are tuning in, so there was a lot of eyes on that. A lot of people now know that a sequel to that game is coming. Hopefully, that'll get them to go back and check out the older game, and then also in the future, you know, with Okami 2, once this does finally come out, you know, that'll be out there forever. Some people say, hey, Okami 2, what's the original game like? Then they go back and, you know, get it for the PS2 or the Wii, or check out the DS game or one thing or another. So yeah, this is just freaking awesome. So one, I'm super happy for Hideki Kamiya that everything worked out and that he was able to start up his new studio. I will definitely be keeping a close eye on them, but also we're getting a sequel to Okami. 2 in 1 right there. That news just literally made my day. Next up, 461 ZeniMax Online Studios employees have unionized. So this coming from IGN, quote, a total of 461 employees of ZeniMax Online Studios have officially unionized under the Communications Workers of America banner. The union consists of web developers, designers, engineers, and graphic artists at ZeniMax working on massively multiplayer online, that's a tongue twister, massively multiplayer online role-playing game, The Elder Scrolls Online. They are mostly located in Maryland, but are also based in various states, including Cali, New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Wisconsin. Together, the new union will be known as ZOS United, CWA. ZeniMax owner Microsoft has formally and voluntarily recognized the union already in accordance with its past labor neutrality agreements. Quote, with a union, we are looking forward to collectively pushing for improvements to the workplace, including job security, protections against AI, better pay, and benefits, in an industry that we're so deeply passionate about, end quote, the union said in a follow-up post on Blue Sky, end quote again. So, you know, that's awesome news. For those that don't know, unionizing just basically means that, as they mentioned in the article, their jobs are more secure, they have more protections, possibly better pay, and just as workers, they have more say in things rather than it just being a very one-to-one hierarchy as you see at many big AAA studios. So this is just awesome for the workers, and you know, it's just such a nice inverse, you know, getting to read something like this compared to all the things we've had to talk about in recent times with all the various layoffs and controversies behind the scenes. Just reading something nice like this where 461 employees were basically, you know, guaranteed more fairness at their job, whether that be through sheer security or just better pay or protections against AI and such. And it's always nice when these bigger companies are still able to work things out to this way to where the employees that work on the works of art that we love, that being video games, because video games are art, are treated like the human beings that they are. Because, you know, to the big CEOs, I feel like they tend to forget that. But yeah, the employees that make them their billions of dollars, they're human beings too, and they deserve to be treated as such. So yeah, this was awesome, and I just figured I'd share it with you guys. And finally, oh my goodness, we have a complete recap of everything that was announced, shown, as well as all of the awards for the Game Awards 2024. Are you ready? Because once we get going, we're not going to stop. It's just going to be titles, a release date if it's applicable, and then that's going to be that. And then once we get to the awards, same thing. Are you ready? We're just going to go through this. All right. 3, 2, 1, we're off to the races. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Summer 2025. Viking Dynasty, Slay the Spire 2, Midnight Murder Club, Thick as Thieves, Shadow Labyrinth, Kiora, Rematch, Solosta 2, The Witcher 4, Elden Ring Nightrein 2025, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, January 2025, this being the PC version, Catly, The Outer Worlds 2 2025, Split Fiction, Killing Floor 3, March 2025, Dave the Diver in the Jungle, which is an expansion, Black Frost, The Long Dark 2, Steel Hunters, Borderlands 4 2025, Mecha Break, Virtua Fighter 6, Turok Origins, Tekken 8, Helldivers 2, and, you know, for some of these things, I'm just, like, saying names, but that's just kind of, you know, if the game has already been released, then just assume that it's an update or an expansion or something similar, like another port. Warframe 1999, December 14th, 2024. Palworld Faybreak, December 23rd, 2024. Project Sentry, Onimusha, Way of the Sword, 2026. The First Berserker Kazan, March 27th, 2025. Arad, Dungeon and Fighter. Dying Light the Beast, Summer 2025. Fortnite Ballistic, which is available now, it was just, you know, just got a spot there. Stage Fright, Game of Thrones King's Road, 2025. Double Dragon Revive, Screamer, 2026. The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster for PC, coming April 3rd, 2025. Sonic Racing Crossworlds, Den of Wolves, Mafia the Old Country, Summer 2025. Dispatch, the Okami sequel, Crimson Desert, and finally, Naughty Dog's new IP, Intergalactic, The Heretic profit. So that is all the games that were announced, or shown, or got updates, or having expansions, or just anything similar to that. Like, if it had a presence there, I named it off. But now we're going to be going through all of the awards. All of the awards that were given out at the Game Awards 2024 are as follows. Best Mobile Game, Balatro. Best Fighting Game, Tekken 8. Best Esports Game, League of Legends. Best Esports Athlete, Faker. The Game Awards Game Changer, Amir. Best Esports Team, T1. Best Family Game, Astrobot. Best Performance, Melina Juergens for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Best Debut Indie, Balatro. Best Adaptation, Fallout, that referring to the show. Best Narrative, Metaphor ReFantasio. Best Art Direction, Metaphor ReFantasio. Best VR/AR Game, Batman Arkham Shadow. Best Sim/Strategy Game, Frostpunk 2. Best Community Support, Baldur's Gate 3. Games for Impact, Neva. Best Sports/Racing Game, EA Sports FC 25. Best Multiplayer Game, Helldivers 2. Innovation and Accessibility for Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Best Audio Design, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Content Creator of the Year, Queso. Most Anticipated Game, Grand Theft Auto 6. Best Action Game, Black Myth: Wukong. Best Score and Music, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Best RPG, Metaphor ReFantasio. Player's Voice, Black Myth: Wukong. Best Independent Game, Balatro. Best Action Adventure Game, Astrobot. Best Ongoing Game, Helldivers 2. Best Game Direction, Astrobot. And Game of the Year, Astrobot. But anyway, that is all the stories that I have for you guys this week. Definitely a bit of a busy week with the Game Awards and everything. A lot to write down there. Hopefully I got everything. There might have been a game or two that slipped through the cracks. Same thing with the awards, but I did my best. Anyway, we'll wrap things up there. Thank you guys for watching. New episodes of Weekly GCAP go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. EST. I'd love to have you here, but that's that. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.